Hey, what's up, y'all? This is N Squared, and today we're going to be talking about some 2019 NBA free agency. So we're first going to start off with the Rockets and what's going on with them. So Nate, go ahead.
So the Rockets, about a month ago, probably like 2 or 3 weeks, they said that everyone is available for trades. But now coming out in the last couple of days, the 24th, 25th, and 26th, we're seeing that they are wanting to trade Capella specifically, Eric Gordon, and even PJ Tucker, which is a big surprise to Rockets fans, as he was fantastic, probably the second best player in the NBA playoffs for the Rockets. A fantastic, underrated player. And specifically, Jimmy Butler is who they really are targeting. Chris Paul, James Harden have had their sort of feud. Some don't know if it's true or if it's false. The players and the coach are coming out and saying it is not true whatsoever. Media is adamant about saying that there is a big disagreement and there is some fights and quarrels going on. So Jimmy Butler, what do you think of that?
Yeah, so first going back to everybody's available. So to me, when you first saw that happen, you're like, okay, the Warriors just got all injured. They're not going to be the same next year. Why would you mess up your roster when you were this close to beating them with the roster? Like, why would you just not keep everybody and go at it one more time? And if it doesn't work, then next year maybe mess it all up. But for this, like, why are you trying to mess it up when you have what you want? Going to the Chris Paul thing, I think there's a lot of reports saying, oh, he's demanded a trade. Oh, wait, Chris Paul said on his Instagram he didn't want to be traded. He didn't know what that was about. So it's very confusing, and now it looks like that Chris Paul is not even in trade rumors anymore. It's kind of like he's staying where he is. But the Jimmy Butler thing, I think it's very interesting. Most people say it's a bad fit, and I can see why. He's another third ball-centric guy who wants the ball in his hands at all times, and how Chris Paul and him would have fights because they both say what they think. It might not be great for the locker room. I do think Jimmy Butler would provide defense if there's some way we could keep PJ Tucker with him and Jimmy and PJ Tucker playing defense in the front court. That'd be a nasty duo in the front court defensively. I think that although he would be a great addition defensively, I think offensively it'd be a bit of a struggle. And I also think that the Rockets are trying to get him and giving away too much, which, I mean, it's not too much because Jimmy Butler's a great player, but other teams are asking for it, and they want Jimmy Butler so bad, they're going to give away their whole starting roster. It just kind of doesn't make much sense to me why they would give everything away for that. So I don't know what's going to end up happening, but we'll see, I guess.
Yeah, and so, I mean, Eric Gordon, he's been sort of on rumors of trade blocks for the last couple of years, I mean. And Capella, after that horrific playoff performances, I mean, every game, he had like one good game in all.
That one block on Andre Iguodala, and that was pretty much it for him in the playoffs.
Yeah, watching the NBA playoffs, I'm a thorough believer that Capella is the reason the Rockets lost to the Warriors. I mean, if he played slightly better, but that's a whole nother story. Now, the next big thing came out today that KD is declining his $31.6 million player option. What do you think of this?
So this, to me, just kind of going off of what has rumored around the NBA the last couple of days, just kind of goes to show what happens when either the Warriors training staff didn't say what the injury was at first when he got injured. Because I'm a believer right now. I think the Warriors training staff is in a horrible spot. Just everybody thinks that, they made KD come back too soon. They pushed him to do it when they knew it was worse than it was. Today, even Andre Iguodala, one of the Warriors players, came out and said he was trying to play with a broken leg last year when they said it was a bone bruise. The team said it was a bone bruise. He said, no, I fractured my leg. I can't play. That's why he couldn't play in the series last year against the Rockets. So apparently what he's saying is the Warriors have a tendency to do this. And so with this, KD must be just, oh wow, he must be like, wow, this really ticks me off. Like, why would the Warriors now come out and say, like, now it just looks bad, the training staff is not on my side, I gotta go somewhere else because I can't have a training staff that's gonna lie to me about this. And did KD know about it, and did he go along with it? That's a different question. But him declining his player option to me was just kind of obvious after what had just transpired the last couple days. And I think his landing spot's going to be interesting. I think it won't really matter in the next year or so because he won't be able to play. But in the coming years, it's going to make a big difference in the NBA. So.
Yeah. And one big thing is sort of Kyrie. So Kyrie is an interesting player. I mean, he got shipped out to the Celtics. He's very vocal. He's a great, fantastic player. I mean, many kids aspire to play like him, and that way he dribbles. It's so fun to watch. I'd say one of the more fun players to watch in the NBA. Some of the things he does is a little bit questionable. One thing came out is that on the Boston Sports Talk radio, he called in pretending to be someone else, supporting Kyrie. So that's a little bit of a questionable move by him.
Yeah.
He really cares about his public opinion. Kyrie, where do you think he's going to go?
Yeah, I'm not really sure where. I think the Brooklyn Nets are the top team that's probably going to end up. I think he's going to end up in Brooklyn if I had to guess. And going back to what you said about him being on that radio show, he's just a really flaky player. Like he's such a good basketball player, but he kind of is more emotional and on the side of flakiness, kind of like Kevin Durant. And there might be something with that because KD and Kyrie teaming up in Brooklyn, that's a rumor. New York is a rumor, but I think Brooklyn is a better chance for them both to go there. But so yeah, I think Kyrie ends up in Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn ends up trading D'Angelo Russell to a different team, the Lakers maybe. So I think Kyrie ends up in Brooklyn, and I also think if KD ends up in Brooklyn, that's going to be an interesting combo, KD and Kyrie, because they apparently are friends, but they're both very flaky. They're on social media a lot. They're just, so I don't really know how that's going to go, but I would say Brooklyn if I had to guess where he's going to end up.
I think just the quick points up, we have D'Lo, D'Angelo Russell's trying, he sort of wants to go with the Lakers. I think we're both sort of reporters on saying that the Lakers don't need a third star and they desperately need a bench.
Yeah.
One other thing is Kemba Walker to the Celtics to replace Kyrie, would be an interesting move by him. Those are some major points coming up. Any comments?
Yeah, I think also Marc Gasol, we just read before we started this that he is staying with the Raptors on a big contract for the next year. He's picked up his option.
$25.6 million.
So there's a lot of players. There's still a lot of dominoes still to fall. Real quick, we'll talk about Kawhi, I guess, because we didn't mention him yet. He is rumored to meet with. He wants to go to the Clippers, possibly stay in Toronto. Maybe this Marc Gasol thing makes him stay if he has a big man for the next year. I don't know if that's enough to make him stay, so it's really interesting. Kawhi still has to make his decision after winning a Finals MVP and a Finals. So there's a lot still to come, and we'll talk about that on part 2.
Yeah. Thank you for watching.